Assalamualaikum, my name is Hamza and I'm going to be showing you how to solve net ionic equations. So how to do this is relatively simple and it needs to be done in 4 steps. Our first step, as you can see, is, well, we only have KCl and PbNO3 2. And we need to complete the equation as there's nothing on this side. So you'd simply complete the equation, which would be PbCl would go here. A 2 would go here as well because of the charges. And then you'd take CkNO3 and you would put that here. And that is your full equation. Now, your next step is to balance your equation. And as you can see, we have our K's are balanced. Our CLs are not balanced as there's a 2 here. Our PBs are balanced as well. And finally, our NOs, as there's a 2 here, and no 2 here makes it unbalanced. So now we balance this, of course, which means we would have to put a 2 in front of the K. We then look here, we have to put nothing there. But we would have to put a 2 in front of the K. And nothing would go here as everything is now balanced. Now that that's done, you move on to the next step, which is to check for solubility. So you'd have to refer to your solubility chart for this one. You'd basically flip to page 6, in your data booklet, and then you'd go to the solubility table and you'd have to check for your groups. So looking at this chart right now, you could see that KCl is clearly soluble, which would make it aqueous. You then go check PbNO3 2, and if you look through your chart, you could see as well that this is aqueous as well. You'd do the same thing with KNO3, and you'd see that this is aqueous. PbCl would actually be a solid due to Pb being in the solubility table, which makes PbCl a solid. Now that you have checked for your solubility, your next step is to write the full ionic equation. So first, you take 2K Cl, which would you turn that into 2K plus which is aqueous. Remember to always write the charge as well as the state. You add 2, then you take 2Cl. It has a negative charge and it is aqueous. And then you move on to your next one, which would become Pb2 plus aqueous And then what you do next, well, you move on to the next one, which would be 2NO3. That would also be aqueous. And then you would move to the other side. So the other side is 2K plus aqueous. Plus NO3, 2NO3. Negative, and it is aqueous. And finally, since PbCl is a solid, that does not come apart. So you would leave PbCl2 as it's in its current state as a solid. Now that that's done, you need to isolate, you need to get rid of the ones that are the same. So 2K plus and 2K plus, you can cross those out since they are the same. 2NO3 and 2NO3, you can cross those out as well since they are the same. And as you can see, we only have a few remaining, which is 2Cl minus, Pb2 plus, and PbCl2. And now you take what you have left and put it into an equation, which brings us to our final step, writing our ionic equation, which is 2Cl minus aqueous plus Pb2 plus aqueous, and that becomes PbCl 2, and that is a solid. And that is your final ionic equation. So in short summary, first you finish the equation, everything that is missing, you balance it, you find your states, then you write your full ionic equation, and then you cross anything that is the same after turning it into an ionic equation. Then you take the rest of your numbers, put it together, and that becomes your net ionic equation. And that is it for solution stoichiometry and net ionic equations. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.